Chosen One, secrets are surfacing about how greed drove an attempt to poison you for money, and the entire tower of lies and wickedness is crashing down. Right now, the people who exploited your trust are panicking as truth floods spaces they thought were sealed forever. You didn't just endure betrayal, you outlived a calculated operation. The level of coordination required to organize your destruction reveals how serious this conspiracy was. This was not one bitter person acting alone. This was a network. Family members pooled money together. Relatives who sat at your grandmother's table contributed cash to pay a Haitian witch doctor for deadly substances. People who share your bloodline traveled to Louisiana, consulted practitioners who work with darkness, described you in detail, provided your information, and paid for mixtures designed to be placed in your food and drink. The aunt often served as the ringleader. She presented herself as spiritual, as wise, as someone who prayed and knew God. Behind closed doors, she functioned as the connection point. She knew the witch doctors. She organized the money collections. She kept everyone aligned with the plan. She convinced other family members that what was happening was justified because you were proud, because you were showing off, because you thought you were better than everyone else. These lies transformed murder into something that seemed reasonable in their twisted minds. Documents are surfacing now that have them scrambling. Bank records show withdrawals matching payments to practitioners. Phone records reveal calls to Louisiana, to specific areas known for dark spiritual work. Witnesses who were told to stay quiet are opening their mouths because fear of God is greater than fear of family. The practitioner who received payment is facing consequences and giving up names. The whole operation is unraveling piece by piece. The fraud extended beyond spiritual attacks. Legal angles were being worked simultaneously. Court documents about probate were falsified. Signatures on wills were forged. Your grandparents' estate that should have transferred to you was being redirected through paperwork that held no legal validity. Attempts were made to have you declared mentally incompetent. Rumors spread that you were unstable. A narrative was being constructed so that when you died from poison disguised as natural causes or an accident, no one would question the outcome. People would say you were always troubled, always struggling, and the lies would be believed. Different conspirators were assigned specific roles in the operation. Someone maintained contact with the witch doctor and ensured substances were prepared correctly. Another person collected money from various family members who contributed. Someone else tracked your movements and reported when you would be vulnerable. Another created opportunities for poison to be administered. Someone stood ready to provide alibis if questions arose. This was sophisticated wickedness, operating with clear assignments and coordination. Communication methods were chosen specifically to avoid detection. Prepaid phones were used. Only in-person meetings occurred. Cash transactions kept things out of banking systems. The conspirators believed sophistication would protect them, but every phone call, even on burner phones, creates records somewhere. Every meeting, even in secret locations, gets witnessed by someone who remembers. Every cash withdrawal, even if not directly linked to the crime, creates patterns that investigators can follow. The witch doctor hired was not chosen randomly. Specific effort went into finding someone with a reputation for results. Someone who claimed to have helped others eliminate problems before. Someone who boasted about possessing power to make things happen. Significant money was paid up front with promises of more once you were gone. The witch doctor accepted payment and performed elaborate rituals. Candles were lit. Incantations were spoken. Graveyard dirt was mixed with other substances. Entities were called upon that supposedly controlled life and death. The spiritual dimension of what happened goes deeper than most people understand. Your enemies did not just want your physical body dead. Your soul was targeted for trapping. Your intuition was targeted for blocking. Your connection to the divine was targeted for severing. Money was paid for binding rituals. These were not simple spells. These were ceremonies where your name was spoken over altars to demonic entities. Principalities were being called, powers were being invoked, spiritual forces that have operated in darkness for generations were being summoned. The ritual had specific intentions. Block the third eye so you cannot see danger approaching. Close the crown chakra so you cannot receive divine guidance. Bind the intuition so when something is wrong you will not feel it. Trap the soul so even if physical death occurs, no peace will follow. This is what money was paid for. This is what was believed would work. The plan required spiritual blinding long enough to accomplish physical poisoning, but something critical was not known by your enemies. You descend from a bloodline that has been chosen for generations. Your ancestors in the spirit realm have been waiting for you. When you were born, assignments were given to angels specifically for your protection. Your name was written in a book before you took your first breath. So when practitioners tried to bind you, when witch doctors attempted to block you, when demons were dispatched to attack you, a force field was encountered that nobody expected. Every binding ritual snapped back onto the person who paid for it. Every curse sent toward you reversed to sender. Every demon dispatched to attack you found no entry point and attached to the one who summoned it. This is why your spiritual gifts suddenly amplified during this season. You started seeing clearer than ever before. You started knowing things you could not logically explain. You started having dreams that warned you about danger before it manifested. God did not just protect you. You were upgraded. Their attack became your activation. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. What has your enemies confused and terrified is simple. They placed actual poison in your food multiple times. They slipped substances into your drinks. They prepared meals with graveyard dirt mixed throughout. They handed you things laced with compounds designed to affect your mind, your organs, your nervous system, and every single time, something intervened before you consumed it. Sometimes your appetite vanished suddenly. Sometimes uneasiness made you walk away. Sometimes one bite triggered an inner voice telling you to stop. Sometimes you poured drinks out because something tasted wrong. Sometimes you simply did not show up to places where poisoned food waited. Your angels worked overtime. Your ancestors sent signals. The Holy Spirit gave you checks that you could not ignore even when you tried. Your enemies look at you now wondering how you are still alive. They are questioning the practitioners who were paid. They are doubting the power they supposedly purchased. Fear has taken root in their hearts because if poison did not work, if spiritual attacks did not work, if everything they tried failed completely, that means they touched someone protected on a level beyond comprehension. That means they targeted someone who belongs to God. That means they activated consequences that nobody was prepared to face. There was that family gathering where a relative spent extra time alone in the kitchen with your plate. This person stirred something into your food that nobody witnessed. Graveyard dirt blessed by the witch doctor had been mixed with herbs and ground into powder. It was supposed to be tasteless, invisible, deadly over time. Your plate was brought to you with a smile. It was placed in front of you. The relative watched eagerly as you prepared to eat. But something happened. Maybe a phone call pulled you away from the table right then. Maybe someone accidentally knocked the plate over. Maybe sudden sickness to your stomach made eating impossible. Maybe you looked at the food and it just seemed wrong somehow. Whatever the reason, that poison never entered your body. That relative sat confused and frustrated, watching the plan fail in real time. Trying again would raise suspicion. The opportunity was lost. Another time, a drink was prepared for you, a special beverage. You were told it was a family recipe. You were told it had to be tried. You were told it was made with love, but it was made with compounds designed to alter your consciousness, to make you vulnerable, to open you to spiritual attack. The cup was handed over. You held it. You even raised it toward your lips. and then something made you stop. Maybe you remembered disliking that particular flavor. Maybe thirst suddenly vanished. Maybe someone interrupted, and by the time you looked back at the cup, interest was gone. That cup sat untouched. The poison wasted. The plot failed. Substances were placed in food sent to your home. Dishes prepared supposedly out of love came with encouragement to eat immediately while hot. Portions were generous because enough poison needed to enter your system. Everything was packaged carefully. Delivery happened with concern for your well-being. Requests were made to please eat it all because it was made special for you, and you intended to eat it. You really did. But then the strangest thing happened. Maybe your pet knocked the container off the counter and everything spilled. Maybe you opened it and the smell was slightly off, so you threw it away. Maybe you put it in the refrigerator, intending to eat later, and then forgot until it went bad. Maybe you gave it to someone else because hunger was absent. However it happened, you never consumed what was prepared. The poison never reached you. Divine intervention manifested through seemingly random circumstances that were not random at all. What really motivated all this wickedness was money, inheritance, property. Your grandparents left assets. Your parents had things that should transfer to you. A financial legacy existed with your name on it. Family members who felt entitled to it decided you were the only obstacle standing between them and wealth. So a business decision was made. Eliminate you. Take what is yours. Live the life you were supposed to live. The probate court situation is where significant fraud occurred. Wills were altered after people died. Signatures were forged with help from people who were paid off. Beneficiary designations were changed through documents holding no legal validity. Lawyers were consulted about how to cut you out without it being obvious. Paper trails were created designed to show you were incompetent, unstable, not deserving of inheritance. Investigations are uncovering everything now. Bank records are being examined. Signatures on documents are being analyzed and proven fake. People who witnessed the fraud are coming forward. Lawyers who participated are facing their own legal problems. Every person who put money into the poisoning fund, who contributed to witch doctor payments, who signed off on fraudulent documents, is about to face consequences that involve jail time, restitution, and permanent criminal records. The beautiful irony is this: the wealth your enemies tried to steal is coming to you multiplied. The inheritance attempted to be taken is being secured in your name with legal protection that cannot be penetrated. The property desired by others is becoming yours with clear title, and beyond that, you are about to receive damages, restitution, and compensation that exceeds the original amount. God does not just restore. Restoration comes with interest that makes up for lost time and pain endured. When your elder passed away, certain family members moved with speed. The house was entered, and documents were removed before anyone else could secure them. Original wills disappeared. Safe deposit box keys vanished. Financial records were taken. Evidence was being eliminated of the true intentions of the deceased person. Then an alternative version of events was produced. Suddenly, a will appeared that nobody had seen before, that conveniently gave control to specific people. Or claims were made that promises were made verbally that changed what was written. Or documents were presented with signatures that look similar but are not quite right. The banking was on you being too grief-stricken to fight. The counting was on you being too trusting to question. The thought was that you would just accept their version of reality. But mistakes were made. Greed led to altering too much. Signatures were forged on multiple documents, and inconsistencies are obvious under examination. Timelines were created that do not match other recorded events. Conversations occurred with lawyers and financial advisors that were documented, and those documents contradict what is now being claimed. Every lie told is being exposed by the paper trail left behind. The amounts involved were not small. Properties worth significant value were at stake. Life insurance policies with your name as beneficiary were targeted for redirection. Bank accounts that should have transferred to you were being accessed. Investment portfolios meant to fund your future were being stolen. Family land passed down for generations was being taken. All of it was wanted, and murder was the chosen method to get it. Forensic accountants are now tracing every transaction. Investigators are interviewing everyone who had contact with the estate. Handwriting analysts are examining every signature. Timeline specialists are reconstructing what actually happened versus what was claimed. Truth is emerging like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Every fraudulent act is being documented. Every forgery is being proven. Every theft is being calculated for restitution. For many of you, a romantic element exists in this situation that makes everything more complex. A partner or ex whose family was involved in the conspiracy, a baby parent who was jealous of what you represented, a karmic relationship where the person was either sent into your life to gather information or whose connections wanted you eliminated because you threatened their control. That ex-soul, who seemed perfect initially, but whose family always felt wrong. That partner whose relatives asked invasive questions. That person whose baby parent hated you with intensity that made no logical sense. These were not random situations. These were strategic placements or compromised connections. Some people were honey traps sent to get close. Others were genuine people whose karmic attachments became dangerous liabilities. The karmic who is obsessed with someone you are connected to is performing magic right now, trying to break up what is forming. Practitioners are being paid to make you look bad. Rituals are being done to bind someone to them, but nothing is working. Every spell bounces back. Every hex returns. Every binding attempt strengthens the connection, being targeted for destruction. And watching someone thought to be owned being magnetically drawn to you, despite everything being tried, is causing mental breakdowns. Some of these exes were initiated into cults or covens. Normal presentation occurred in public, but behind closed doors rituals were attended, blood pacts were made, entities were served. When you entered their life with your light-dark affiliations were threatened. A choice had to be made between you and covenant with darkness. The wrong choice was made, and now watching lives fall apart while yours elevates is their reality. Right now, in this moment, everything built against you is falling. The tower of lies is crumbling. The network of conspirators is imploding. People are turning on each other faster than processing can occur. The cult leader who organized spiritual attacks is facing consequences from both legal and spiritual realms. High-ranking people in secret societies are being exposed. Names are coming out. Connections are being revealed. The aunt who was the ringleader is sick right now, physically sick with conditions doctors cannot explain. She is experiencing the same symptoms she wanted you to have. The witch doctor who was paid is losing sanity, literally. This practitioner is being tormented by the same entities sent after you. The person who performed binding rituals cannot sleep because nightmares will not stop. Every person who participated is facing customized karma, designed specifically for what they attempted against you. Some are in hospitals receiving test results that changed everything. Some are in psychiatric facilities because they are seeing things and hearing things, experiencing spiritual oppression they cannot escape. Some are in jail because fraud charges came faster than expected. Some are watching their finances evaporate as investments fail, businesses collapse, and income streams dry up. The wealth they attempted to steal from you is being taken from them. The collapse is happening in stages, and each stage is more devastating than the last. First, their health started failing. The aunt who organized everything developed a condition that mirrors exactly what the poison was supposed to do to you. Her organs are shutting down, her mind is deteriorating. Doctors are running tests but finding nothing that explains the rapid decline. She knows what is happening. She understands this is spiritual consequence. But no practitioner exists powerful enough to reverse what she set in motion. Then their relationships started crumbling. Spouses who stood by them for years are suddenly seeing clearly who they married. Children who respected them are discovering truth about what their parent did. Friends who thought they knew them are distancing themselves as more information emerges. The isolation is complete. The abandonment is total. They are experiencing exactly what they wanted you to experience, but multiplied, because this is divine justice. Their finances collapsed next. The relative who contributed money to the poisoning fund is now facing bankruptcy. Investments they thought were secure have failed spectacularly. Business ventures they believed certain to succeed are going under. Property they owned is being seized. Bank accounts are being frozen as part of investigations. The wealth they attempted to steal from you is evaporating from their hands faster than they can comprehend. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. Rengdown. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Mental torment is perhaps the worst part of their karma. Sleep is impossible for them because when they close their eyes, they see your face. They see the poison being prepared. They see the rituals being performed. They see themselves conspiring to murder family. And guilt eats at them constantly. Some are having complete mental breakdowns. Some are hearing voices that will not stop. Some are seeing shadows that follow them everywhere. The same spiritual oppression they paid to be sent to you has attached to them instead. The cult or coven they were part of is experiencing total collapse. The leader who seemed so powerful is now powerless. Members are fleeing the organization. Authorities are investigating everything. The secrecy they counted on is being shattered. People who were afraid to leave are finding courage. People who participated in dark rituals are seeking deliverance. The organization that seemed invincible is being dismantled publicly. Everyone who was involved in sending evil your way is being exposed individually. What makes this justice even more precise is how specifically the karma matches the crime. The aunt who organized the poisoning is experiencing organ failure that mimics what the poison was designed to cause in you. The relative who forged financial documents is now losing everything financially. The family member who spread rumors about your mental state is now genuinely losing their mind. The person who isolated you from family is now being cut off by everyone. Divine justice is not random. It is perfectly tailored to the offense committed. While plotting occurred in darkness, another whole operation was happening in dimensions you could not see. Your ancestors in the spirit realm were mobilizing. These are not just deceased relatives. These are powerful beings who achieved spiritual elevation before crossing over. They have been watching you since birth. They have been protecting your lineage for generations. When the threat level against you increased, they activated special protocols. Angels assigned specifically to you received new orders. Guard their food, watch their drinks, influence their decisions, send warnings through dreams, make them uncomfortable around danger, create diversions when poison is being prepared. These were not general protections. These were targeted interventions based on specific threats your spiritual team had identified. Every time poison was prepared, An angel stood between you and that substance. Every time a ritual was performed, your ancestors broke the spiritual chains before they could attach to you. Every time a demon was sent, the light surrounding you repelled it instantly. You were never as vulnerable as your enemies thought. They were shooting arrows at a target surrounded by an invisible force field. They were cursing someone already blessed. They were trying to kill someone marked for life by divine decree. Those dreams you have been having lately where ancestors appear and give you messages were not random occurrences. Your team was downloading information to you. They were showing you who to trust. They were revealing who was plotting. They were preparing you for this moment when everything would be exposed. They wanted you ready, not traumatized. They wanted you informed, not destroyed. They were giving you intel so when truth came out, you would recognize what your spirit already knew. Every morning when you woke up, a briefing was already happening in the spiritual realm about threats you would face that day. Your protection team was reviewing enemy plans. They knew which family member would offer food. They knew which gathering had poison waiting. They knew which phone call was designed to manipulate you into a vulnerable position. Interventions were orchestrated that would look natural to you, but were actually supernatural redirections. That traffic jam that made you late to a family dinner where poison was in your serving. That was angelic intervention, delaying your arrival until the opportunity passed. That sudden phone call that pulled you away from the table right before a contaminated drink was served. That was your ancestors working through someone else to protect you. That inexplicable exhaustion that made you cancel plans to visit a relative. That was divine wisdom shutting down an assassination attempt disguised as a casual visit. The secrets are coming out in waves, and each wave hits harder. First wave was whispers. People started talking quietly. Second wave was witnesses coming forward. People became willing to testify. Third wave is documents surfacing. Proof is appearing. Fourth wave is arrests happening. Charges are being filed. And only halfway through the waves has occurred. More is coming that will expose things you do not even know about yet. Attempts to run are occurring, but nowhere to hide exists. Some are thinking about going off-grid, disappearing, changing names, moving to places where finding them seems impossible. But spiritual consequences cannot be outrun. Karma activated by touching someone chosen cannot be escaped through geography. Location does not matter when God dispatches judgment. The cult is in chaos. Members are leaving. The organization is losing power. The leader who thought untouchability existed is facing charges that will result in life imprisonment. The network that seemed invincible is being dismantled piece by piece. People who felt protected by affiliations are learning that no secret society can stand against divine order. No covenant with darkness can provide protection when light is attacked. Your enemies are watching you thrive while collapse happens to them. Blessing is being witnessed while curse is being experienced. Elevation is being observed while descent is occurring. Peace is being seen while torment is being felt. This is psychological warfare of the highest level, not because you are doing it to them, but because their own actions created the contrast. The poison prepared for you is being drunk by them. The nightmare wanted for you is being lived by them. Justice is not coming. Justice is here. Someone in the conspiracy got scared and went to authorities. Maybe God was found. Maybe sickness occurred and death seemed near. Maybe guilt became unbearable. Whatever the reason, a police station was walked into and talking started. Names were brought. Dates were brought. Details about meetings, payments and plans were brought. The floodgates were opened. Once investigators had initial information, pulling on every related connection started. Bank records were subpoenaed, and withdrawals were found. Phone records were examined, and calls to Louisiana, to witch doctors, to co-conspirators were seen. People mentioned were interviewed, and some of those people, faced with evidence and potential charges, started cooperating. Each person who talked led to 2 more people. Each document found pointed to 3 more documents. The investigation grew exponentially. The witch doctor who was paid became a focal point. Authorities discovered this person had been operating for years, providing services to multiple clients. When threatened with prosecution, records were produced, detailed records, names of everyone who hired, dates of services, amounts paid, descriptions of what was requested. Your name was in those records along with the family members who paid to have you eliminated. That is documented evidence. That is proof that cannot be denied. What was not understood by your enemies when coming against you is this: you are not just chosen for protection, you are chosen for power transfer. Everything possessed by them is being stripped and redistributed to you. Their wealth is becoming your wealth. Their opportunities are becoming your opportunities. Their connections are becoming your connections. This is not theft. This is divine reallocation of resources that were misused. The inheritance attempted to be stolen is coming to you with legal clarity that cannot be challenged. The property wanted by others is being titled in your name with protection that makes it untouchable. The money thought to belong to them is being deposited into accounts nobody else knows exist. And beyond that, compensation for what you endured is coming. Damages for the trauma, restitution for the theft, multiplied blessings for the patience. Your spiritual gifts are operating at levels never experienced before. The intuition targeted for blocking is sharper than ever. The discernment attempted to be clouded is clearer than crystal. The connection to source targeted for severing is stronger than titanium. Things are being seen before manifestation occurs. Guidance is being heard with precision. Things are being known that shock you. The spiritual attack was actually an activation disguised as an assault. New people are entering your life who are aligned with your destiny. Divine connections that require no convincing are being established. Relationships built on truth, respect and genuine love are forming. A community is being built around you of people who celebrate you instead of plotting against you. People who pray for you instead of cursing you. People who protect your energy instead of draining it. People who see your light and want to help it shine brighter instead of trying to extinguish it. Financial breakthroughs are coming in clusters. Career elevations are stacking. Influence is expanding. Recognition is arriving. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you have not entered yet. The people who counted you out are having to watch you cash in. The ones who wrote you off are seeing you write checks. The ones who thought you would never make it are watching you make moves. The ones who planned your funeral are attending your celebrations. Here is what the power transfer looks like in practical terms. That business idea you had that family members mocked is suddenly attracting funding. That career move you wanted to make that others said was impossible now has doors opening that were previously locked. That property you dreamed of owning that seemed out of reach is becoming available at terms that favor you. That relationship you hoped for that felt like a fantasy has the right person being drawn to you magnetically. The universe is literally rearranging circumstances in your favor. Contracts are being offered that surpass what you asked for. Promotions are coming that skip several levels. Investments are yielding returns that defy market logic. Opportunities are presenting themselves that seem too good to be true but are absolutely real. This is what happens when divine favor is activated. This is what occurs when God decides to show off through your life. Your enemies are watching all of this happen and cannot process it. They are seeing you flourish financially while filing bankruptcy themselves. They are watching you receive opportunities they thought belonged to them. They are observing you build connections with people they could never access. They are witnessing you step into rooms they were denied entry to, and every bit of it reminds them that they went after the wrong person. They attacked someone God decided to defend, and now they are watching the consequences of their arrogance play out in real time. The wealth transfer is not just about money, it is about influence, authority, and positioning. You are being placed in strategic locations where your voice carries weight. You are being given platforms where your message reaches multitudes. You are being positioned where your decisions affect outcomes. The power they wanted for themselves is being handed to you because you will use it righteously. The influence they craved is being given to you because you will steward it properly. The authority they sought is being placed in your hands because you understand it comes with responsibility. Now understand what happens next, because this is where your power really shows. You are not just surviving what was sent. You are dominating the aftermath. You are not just recovering. You are taking territory. You are not just healing. You are conquering. You are stepping into authority nobody thought you would claim. Every door attempted to be closed is flying open. Every connection attempted to be blocked is being established. Every opportunity attempted to be prevented is manifesting. Every blessing attempted to be stolen is arriving multiplied. And this is happening so fast that keeping up with watching you win is impossible for your enemies. You are about to become the living testimony that makes others believe again. The walking proof that touching God's chosen is a fatal mistake. The breathing evidence that divine protection is real and divine justice is thorough. Your survival narrative is going to help people who are going through similar attacks. Your victory is going to give hope to those who feel surrounded by enemies. Your elevation is going to show the world what happens when trust in God exceeds trust in circumstances. The eternal principle established through your experience is this: wickedness contains the seeds of its own destruction. Every evil plot has an expiration date. Every conspiracy has a collapse moment. Every scheme against chosen ones activates consequences the schemers never calculated. Your enemies thought a game was being played, but God was executing judgment. Your existence proves that some people cannot be touched. Your survival demonstrates that some lives have protection transcending human understanding. Your thriving shows that attacks meant to destroy can actually activate destinies. You are not a victim. You never were. You are a warrior who won a battle you did not even know you were fighting. You are a champion who defeated enemies while being thought defeated. The tower has fallen. The secrets are out. The poison failed. The curses reversed. The schemes collapsed. The conspirators are caught. Justice is served. And you are standing in the rubble of their failed plans, looking at the open road of your destiny, knowing that what comes next is greater than anything attempted to be prevented. You are not just surviving, you are dominating. You are not just recovering, you are conquering. You are not just blessed, you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Walk forward now in the authority proven through warfare. Step into the power confirmed through survival. Claim the inheritance secured through protection. Build the empire funded through divine reallocation. Live the life that makes them question how stopping you was ever considered possible. Because chosen one, you are not just chosen for protection, you are chosen for domination, and everything coming next will prove it beyond doubt. The war is over. The victory is total. The best is yet to come, and absolutely nothing, not poison, not curses, not conspiracy, not hell itself, can stop what God has ordained for your life. Your enemies all went down, you are still standing, and that, beloved, is all the proof you need that you are exactly who God says you are: untouchable, unstoppable, unbreakable.